Prepare to step into a world where imagination knows no bounds as we present Legends, Loot, and Lore. Join host, DM, and self-confessed Dice Goblin Andrew, who will guide you every step of the way into the realm of Dungeons & Dragons. From actual gameplay and cooking up delicious D&D foods to interviews with other D&D fans and newbies, this podcast is your gateway to becoming the hero of your own story. Whether you're a new adventurer or a seasoned traveler seeking new insights, Legends, Loot, and Lore has something for everyone. After the episode, visit our website at www.legendslootandlore.com for even more resources and exclusive content. And if you're as passionate about this adventure as we are, help support our quest at legendslootandlore.supercast.com. Embark on this odyssey with us and let the echoes of ancient tales guide you toward a destiny filled with limitless possibilities. Roll for initiative, because your adventure begins now.
Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Legends, Loot, and Lore. The best D&D podcast this side of the Hackensack River. No, I don't know.
At least make it the Hudson.
The Hudson.
People actually know what that is.
Yeah. Well, it's not even, I don't know, the Saddle River maybe? I don't know, like what would be?
There's a Saddle River. Is that why the town is named Saddle River?
Yeah. There is the Saddle River, as a matter of fact. Who knew?
Learn something new every day.
That's right. That's your geography lesson for your body of water. I don't know, whatever this. Hopefully that's a Jeopardy question. Anyway. Wow.
If it comes up in trivia, Anita and I are ready.
That's right. Absolutely. Now you know. So anyway, joining us in studio, that's the air quotes of the studio,
AKA the dining room,
AKA our D&D playroom, studio, whatever you want to call it. We have a very special guest joining us today, Jocelyn. Hi, Jocelyn.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
So none of you probably know who Jocelyn is, but you have definitely heard of Jocelyn because all of the music composed for the Legends, Loot, and Lore podcast was done by Jocelyn, our niece, by the way.
Yeah.
The incredibly talented artist, musician. What else?
I think that's it.
That's it. Artist and musician. Fantastic.
All around cool person.
Yes,
Aww.
Absolutely. So thank you for joining us. This is very exciting.
I'm excited.
So tell us, so what actually brings you to the fine state of New Jersey?
I'm here to go to a music festival.
Rock on.
Yeah. They actually have a D&D panel at the festival.
we would have enjoyed that.
We would have stood out like sore thumbs.
I know, right?
It is today if you still want to go.
See? Oh, excellent. Fantastic.
Find everything you own that's black.
Yeah.
I have to work on that.
Yeah.
I have to work on that. But anyway, so we're so happy to have you here. So tell us a little bit about your background, your education, and some of the things that you've worked on beyond just the fantastic music. For our podcast.
So I've studied video game and movie composition at Berklee in Boston.
Awesome.
And since then, I've worked on a game called Wizard Cats, doing sound effects for that, which is super fun. It is partially D&D inspired in the classes in the game, and so I'm doing a lot of spell sound effects in that, which is really cool to do. And right now, I can't tell you the name of the game that I'm working on because it's not out yet, but I'm doing music for this one.
Oh, awesome!
Cool.
Oh, very exciting.
Yeah.
So how does one? Because I'm just fascinated by this. So how does one create a spell casting sound effect? Like what does that actually entail?
Well, thinking about like what element the spell will be and what it will be looking like in game, whether it will have like particles or if it's like a cone or ray shape. And then usually the sounds will have 3 levels to it, like the high frequencies, middle frequencies, and low frequencies.
Right.
And think about how you would make each one. Like there'll be a low boom and then like the body of the spell and then maybe some little like sparks or particles on top.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
See, this is
Things you never think about.
things you never think about. Like when you play games and when you play video games and things like that, you never think about like how much actually goes into creating each one of those effects. That's fascinating. So, so what inspired you to study this and get into it?
I just have always loved video game soundtracks. Like one of my first memories of playing video games was the Trine game series. And that was like the first album that I bought, the soundtrack for that game, because I loved it so much.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Awesome. Wow. So I'm trying to think about where I want to go with this. Do you have any questions, dear?
Okay, I do actually. There was a very blank look, and then all of a sudden I realized I do have a question. I'm curious about how you went from, you've always been super artistic. We still have a picture of Lando on our refrigerator that you did years and years ago. How did you go from that to wanting to do music composition?
Well, my mom has taught me piano since I was young, and like Dad does sound mixing and that type of thing. Yep. So there's a lot of music in our house. And so I took a lot of piano lessons. And then one of the last out of our house teachers that I had mentioned that he went to Berklee and that they had a course for video game composition. So that got me interested. And I had always, for a while, been doing writing out the scores from video game soundtracks, just like piano versions of them for myself to play. And from there, it went from transcribing scores to trying to write my own. And then I'm like, oh, this is a lot of fun. I like this.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
So where do you source? Like, how do you come up with like the sound effects? So I know, so there's, like you said, high, mid, low, but like, where do you source? Like how do you like create that sound?
Well, you can't think of it literally unless you have like a magic wand, but so for like thinking, there's a lot of whoosh sound effects that you use. So for that, for example, I'll like swing around a sock or a ruler so it makes that noise. And for like the low, if you think of an earth spell with the rumbling rocks and earth moving, I will fill up a box with either like walnuts or acorns or small rocks from outside and like move that around to record that sound.
That's super cool.
I love how like actually physical it still is.
Right?
You know, like as high tech as everything is, like you're still literally like filling a box with stuff. That's really cool.
The latest thing I just did, I had to record footsteps in a woodland environment. So I went outside and I had a shovel and I filled up a cardboard box with dirt and leaves. And then I was marching around like in my office walking through the box. It looked really funny.
That's amazing.
That's great.
It reminds me a lot of like Foley artists.
Yeah, definitely.
Doing all of that work. Because that's always probably my most, like, the thing that I'm most interested when it comes to movies are the Foley artists and creating all that effect. So it's interesting to see that it's very, very similar on creating sound effects for video games and things like that. That is super cool. So this is a D&D podcast. So what has been your experience either playing D&D or similar games? Because I know you and your family play a million different games. So what are some of your favorite? So let's see. How have you played D&D, first of all?
I have played just a few sessions.
So
I am a beginner. I'm the target audience for the podcast.
Fantastic. Perfect.
Yes.
Me too.
So what is your character or characters? What have they been usually?
Well, the first time I think I was a cleric, and then I really want to do a bard character because, music.
Yes, of course.
So
well, that makes perfect sense.
If I play again, I will do that.
Clerics are always fascinating. Like, what about like a druid? Like, I could see you as a druid, type character. So It's just like clerics are fantastic as healers and things like that. Very, very in touch with nature and things. So I could totally see that.
Yeah.
What type of adventure did you play? Was it a standard D&D adventure, or was it like a homebrew?
It was one of the standard ones from the books. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember which one it was?
I don't anymore.
Okay.
Because it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We've been playing a lot of Mage Knight, and then I recently got into Frosthaven, which is also like super involved.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Are these mainly like card games, or what are the games like?
Frosthaven is more roleplay based. It is a tabletop, and with lots of little pieces that I spent like all Christmas Day punching out and organizing in bags and all that type of thing.
Oh my goodness.
But it does have a storyline that it's meant to span for. I think I heard someone say that they've played it for a year.
Wow.
So it is very
okay.
long, and you
Okay.
can it's kind of choose your own adventure, so you can shape your story as you go along.
Awesome.
It is based on, it's like a second version of Gloomhaven, if you've heard of that. So yeah.
Okay. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. I mean, it was so interesting when Catherine and I went to PAX Unplugged and saw there was just so many tabletop games and card games and just all sorts of different things. Like Varia, I'm thinking about that one that we picked up, which I still need to play.
Yeah.
James, if you're listening, which he's probably not.
Which he will be in about 3 weeks after we shame him into listening.
Exactly. He bought it as well, so we need to play. And that's a card game with, again, similar like classes, like D&D and things like that. So we got to play that one, and then the pirate game.
Oh yeah.
I got to break that one out. It's tough because we don't have that many people to play with. So you've got kind of like a built-in like game table game of 4. So
and there is a board game cafe near my house too.
No way.
Oh, that's
Yes.
cool.
We went there in February, I think it was. They did a demonstration of Wormspan, which is like Wingspan, but it's dragon themed instead.
Okay.
And that was so cool.
oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the one thing that I find interesting around here is there's a group they started down in the Philadelphia area, and it's called Dungeons and Drafts. And what they do is they play at local like microbreweries, and they come in like DMs come in and they have like kind of their pre-made like a lot of it's homebrew games, and they come in and people come into the breweries and play that, which is a lot of fun, which I think is really cool.
Let's try to get them into Gear Block.
I know. Well, they're just moving into northern New Jersey. They've been in the Philly, south central kind of area of New Jersey, but they were just starting to expand up into northern New Jersey. Huh. So yeah, it would be great to have them up like local in Waldwick.
Absolutely.
That'd be a lot of fun because I know they were, now we're getting off on a tangent, but they had advertised that they were looking for DMs up in northern New Jersey. And I actually sent it to James because I thought that might be something he would be interested in.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's talk about, since it is our podcast, let's talk about our podcast and let's talk about the music specific to that you created for our podcast. Yeah. So we have our intro music. So talk a little bit about what was your inspiration for creating the music for this podcast? I know I gave you some general ideas, but kind of what was your thought process going into it and creating the music for this show? Yeah,
so I remember you said that you liked the piece that I did called Tales of Adventure, and that one's slightly more pirate themed, but I took the general idea from it. It's kind of folky, folk instruments in there. And then for the podcast, I wanted to have it be a little more high energy because it's shorter and it needs to say more quicker.
Yes.
So I went with a more video game feel to that, more orchestral in there.
Yes, it's fantastic. So I want to see if we've got, wait. Oh. Love it. we got all these like the little interstitial pieces for in between segments of the podcast, and there's also I dig this one.
Oh yeah,
love it. That one's a little bit longer, so that one's always a good one. That's usually the one that I use when we start from our intro and go into like the heart of the episode and things like that. And we've got the outro as well that I always use. And then you did the voiceover.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
For the intro with the intro music, Catherine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a long time, I was just the voice of this podcast, and then Joe had to get married.
Was not married yet. He got engaged.
I know, but he had to get married, so he has to spend time planning a wedding.
That's right.
And that's how I came to.
He's dead to me. Kidding, Joe. Love you. No, but yeah. So you've become the new co-host of.
Yeah, I'm the new Joe.
Yeah. The new Joe 2.0.
Yes.
Interesting. Better looking.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about this, Jocelyn. What about your music that you create? So beyond all the work that you're doing on the video games, talk about your music, because I love listening to your music, and you've been on curated Spotify playlists. So tell us about your music and all that.
Yeah, thank you. So I most recently released an album, I think it was in February, of the music I had worked on all of last year. I do like to write my own just ideas that I have of fantasy scenes. It'll usually start with a idea for a scene, because I like to do art, like visual art as well. So I'll have that in my mind while I'm writing, and then try to fit both together and see where it goes.
Interesting. So what are some of your inspirations for? I mean, beyond the art itself. So where do you draw inspiration from?
A lot from nature, because there's the woods behind our house,
right.
So that always makes me feel like I'm in a fantasy story. And then books that I read too, and other games, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what are you reading lately? Anything good?
I recently reread the whole Dragon Slipper series. It's a middle grade fantasy, but it's very nostalgic for me, because that was one that I really loved, and I found it again. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. What about you, dear?
What about me?
What are you reading?
A book called How to Kill Men and Get Away with It.
Okay, well, this is not a true crime podcast.
It's not a true crime book either. It's just a novel.
That'd be good if you're like a murder hobo in a
right.
D&D campaign. Maybe you're a rogue sneaking around trying to kill men who have wronged you.
Maybe. Well, then then it goes to my Buffy the Vampire Slayer love, and I become a vengeance demon like Anyanka.
Yeah. Oh my. So tell me about this. So the vengeance demon?
Yeah, yeah, that's what Anya's whole story arc was. She came in as a vengeance demon. Cordelia made a wish, and Anya was the one who fulfilled it. But then I forget exactly how she ended up being kind of like banished to be a teenage girl, but she eventually becomes a Scooby Gang member.
Right. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how much, Jocelyn, have you studied the Bard class? What do you know about the Bard class? Like other than it being a musician, like what?
They're kind of chaotic.
Okay, cool. No, totally, yeah. So
they have a lot of personality.
They really do. Like I dig a Bard. Like it's so funny. Like because they got like vicious mockery and some really good spells in there that they can cast. And like they're high on charisma, and I just like I remember I did what was that? We did that one shot, and I did Sir Edward Van Halen,
yes,
the Bard, and it was just quoting music lyrics.
I love that.
Well, it was it was just I was like, why not? And then what was we were playing, I was DMing Strixhaven for a little while, and we had a battle of the bands. And
oh, that's right.
I think Michael's character was the Bard, okay. if I recall correctly, and he was he led the band in the Battle of the Bands. That was interesting.
Has Joe ever played a bard?
I don't believe Joe has played a bard.
He's always singing.
He's always quoting music lyrics, and I think he's always talking about creating a bard, but has never actually played the bard. Did you, Jocelyn? Did you watch the D&D movie?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so obviously Chris Pine's character, a fantastic bard character. Like I think he's got kind of the good swagger for like playing a charismatic bard. Like I don't think I couldn't pull off being a bard in regular life. So I'm just not that. I don't know. I'm not musically inclined. My mother used to bribe me to practice. She used to have to pay me to practice the piano. It got that bad. Like I just did not want to do it. And so she would actually pay me money to sit down and practice. So she was not only paying for the piano lessons, but then having to pay me to also practice for the piano lessons.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't thought about it, but I guess you're musical for like multiple generations, right? Because your grandmother is, and your mom and your dad. So
yeah, and my brother.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Because your brother played violin.
Yeah, he got into choir right now. He's
nice.
all into singing at the moment. Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's fantastic. See, it's just.
What happened to you?
I don't know. I like to listen to music.
Yeah.
I have a great appreciation for music.
That's important too.
Right? Like I could
drop things.
I can drop things.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I don't know. Like I like going to concerts and things like that.
Oh yeah.
So that part's always good. Like I can always relate a piece of music to like whatever's going on in my life. So there's that.
And we love musical theater.
We certainly do.
Oh yeah. And while Jocelyn's been here, you all went to see Hamilton.
We did go see Hamilton.
That was so fun.
So what did you you've watched it before on Disney Plus.
But it is different seeing it live and just hearing it all around you, you know.
It's incredible, isn't it? And the audience.
Yeah.
Like that was a wild audience. They were really into every song.
Yeah. Surprising for a weekday.
I know. Catherine, you should have seen it. It was, I mean, literally like applause and screams after every song.
I'll just say I injured my leg, so I could not join, but Fable got to take my place, so it worked out in the end.
Yes, indeed. And we could always watch it on, I mean, like you said, it's not the same watching on Disney Plus, but I mean, we could always.
I also have seen it twice, so I really can't complain.
Yeah, this was a really good cast, I thought. Mm-hmm. I was saying probably my only criticism, I mentioned this, was Eliza. Not that she couldn't sing. She had a beautiful voice, but like I don't feel like she could like belt out some of those parts like in Burn. Like it was just like I was waiting for like some really more like oomph behind the voice. But she had a beautiful voice. I love how she played the character.
Yeah.
She was a little more. I'm trying to think what's the word. She played it like a little more. I'm gonna say over the top. But she was very like, I'm trying to think of the right word for it. I can't quite put my finger on it. But she was just very like when she met Alexander Hamilton for the first time, she was just kind of like this silly kind of schoolgirl, kind of like like acting about meeting him and everything. It was interesting. Like I never picked that up on any of the other times that I've seen the musical. So
it's interesting. Eliza Hamilton is an interesting character. I read a lot about her after we saw the show. She really was the one who kept Alexander Hamilton's legacy alive.
Well, would she live for another 50 years?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. I mean,
she was almost destitute, but she stayed in that house.
Yeah.
And she entertained people for her whole life, and she never stopped talking about him.
Yeah.
And the things that he accomplished.
Right.
I mean, she was really his strongest proponent.
The $10 founding father. I mean,
founder of the Bank of New York, where my father worked for years and years. So.
Very true.
And we live mere feet from where Aaron Burr and Theodosia got married. So
yes, the
there's
Hermitage.
a lot of Hamilton.
In Hohokus, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yes,
a lot of Hamilton connections.
Yes. And Weehawken, obviously, where everything's legal in Jersey.
Yeah, where we take the ferry from.
So Jocelyn, so let me ask this question. So talk to me about your audience on Spotify, because that's like, is that your primary outlet for publishing your music?
Yeah, Spotify and YouTube the most.
Nice. Yeah. So how do you get on one of their curated playlists? Like, how does that happen? That's like, that I think is just like the absolute coolest.
Yeah. So when you tell them that you're going to release an album or EP or anything, you have the option to write like a petition to them, saying like, this is my song, this is how I wrote it, this is why you should choose it, this is the type of playlist that I think it would work well on, who you could promote it to, and then there's a small chance that they could pick it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's exciting. It happened twice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I was gonna say this was the second time. That's so exciting. And what's the playlist that it's on?
The first one was Renaissance Fair, and the second one was Celtic Fantasyland, I think.
Interesting. Yeah. That is so cool. Now, what is your music under? So if people are looking for your music, how do they find you on Spotify or YouTube?
It's under the name June Westfield.
And how did you come up with June Westfield?
Because my real name was harder for people to look up. And I don't have to spell this one out.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So yes, June Westfield. Yes, you got how many albums do you have on there now?
I think I might be wrong because I've changed it recently, but I think there's 3.
Awesome.
I think
That's
there's 3 main
fantastic.
albums, yeah.
And you're on 2 playlists, which is super cool. Renaissance Fair, which we are big Renaissance Fair fans, so that fits in beautifully.
Well, and I love Celtic music, so
yes, absolutely, that's fantastic. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
Let me think of I'm trying to think of what other questions I've got. Do you have any questions, dear?
I don't think I do.
Interesting.
What, that I don't have questions?
You have no questions. You have nothing on your mind. I hear cats upstairs.
There's always cats somewhere.
They were doing that while you were gone, too.
Oh, my goodness. Hear the little footsteps running back and forth. They just chase each other back and forth upstairs. They're great.
Here's a question.
Yes.
So I know you've got another video game in the works. What's next? What are you hoping to do next?
More of the same.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think this one is a long haul right now.
Yeah.
I'm up to doing sound effects for this one as well. I completed the music part of it.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
And this is a bit of a larger scale game than the last one I did, so it will definitely be for a while now. And then we'll see after that. Hopefully more.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So the last one, what was tell us the name of the previous game?
Wizard Cat's Tank Battle.
Wizard Cat's Tank Battle. Now that was a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And they weren't able to fund it that way. So what are they doing with it now?
It's still happening. It's just at a slightly slower pace.
Sure.
But hopefully sometime this year.
Awesome.
There'll be an update. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And this other game, so we
mystery
know
game.
the mystery game. That's very exciting though. Like so how did they find you, or how did you find them? Like how did that work?
The dev from Wizard Cat's Tank Battle, Brett, he said, "Hey, my friend is working on this game. Can I send him your resume and your audio reel?" And so we went from there, and I had a Zoom meeting with them.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Excellent. Oh, very exciting.
Yeah.
This is like...
It's nice when people like your stuff enough to start referring you to other people.
Yeah,
right?
It was really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a nice surprise. So we were
absolutely.
You won. So tell us. So you won the tickets on an Instagram contest?
Yes.
Awesome. So you won the tickets to the Dark Force Fest. Mm-hmm. I said that correct, right? Dark Force Fest. Okay.
Yes.
And Can I mention your name, Maddie? Hi, Maddie. Maddie is in the studio as well, but sitting there silently. We're so glad to have you both here. And I'm trying to think of if there's anything. What else?
Well, I think we should let Jocelyn plug her stuff.
Oh yes, please plug away.
Oh, I mean, I sort of have, but
Yeah, exactly.
again, it's my website is junewestfield.com, and on all streaming services and YouTube, it's June Westfield to find my music.
Awesome. And we will put the links in the show notes, of course, so everybody can find that. Thank you again. This has been fantastic. It's so nice to see you in person.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for having us.
Of course, thank you. And we'll get back to the podcast because Catherine and I are gonna add some
Little news roundup
after this. So stay tuned. And all right.
the look on his face every time he hits that button. He's so pleased.
Well, there's also the other button that I haven't hit yet.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, Leroy Jenkins. So that's my other Leroy. And then there was always the first one. That's always the entrance music into the podcast, which I love because I feel like you're like walking, like I don't know, like I envision like walking into the forest. Like,
I think the same thing
with that music. It's like it's like you're entering this magical land. So I absolutely love it. But again, Jocelyn, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Catherine, thank you for being here. Maddie, thank you for being here as well. Have a great day, everybody. And we're recording. So welcome back from our short break of whatever that was. Much longer break than it appears to be.
Short for you, many hours for us.
Yes, but we are back to talk about some fun D&D related news. So we've pulled up a couple articles that we're going to discuss and trying to figure out where we're going to start first. There we go. So one thing that I am super excited about, and I think Catherine is too.
Yes.
Yes. Was that a yes question? Like, yes, what am I about to talk about?
No.
Or yes, you are excited?
Yes, I am excited.
Yes, you are excited. Fantastic.
I know what you're about to talk about because, we planned it.
We pre-planned.
No, we just planned.
Okay. That wasn't pre-planning?
No.
I hate the term pre-planning.
I know.
So that's why I was saying it mockingly.
I know.
So the first thing we want to talk about is coming to New York City.
New York City
is what's known as the 20-Sided Tavern, an interactive stage experience of Dungeons and Dragons play. This is really such a great way to celebrate the 50th anniversary this year of D&D. Super exciting, kind of really an immersive theater event, which is really cool. And we were reading an article. Nerdist has a whole article about them building the set. The set is super cool. Like again, you get the feeling like you're in this tavern. They've got this huge video wall on the back that's gonna display all sorts of stuff, backgrounds. I think they talk about, let's see, there are 34 backgrounds, 5 additional variations, 21 background-specific additional effects that overlay on top of them, 28 combat effects, over 40 custom character illustrations, 40 item cards, and well over 300 individual pieces of content that you might see on any given night. I think this is one of the coolest things that really you're never going to see the same show twice because there are a lot of dice rolls that take place. So again, it really randomizes the adventure for those who are watching, and they use a browser-based software called Gamiotics, something to that effect.
I would guess Gamiotics.
That you can, as an audience, tell the performers what to do, where to go, and what kind of dangers they're going to face. So it's a very interactive event. So I think it's a lot of fun. It's something I think we're going to take our adventuring party to and experience, since we're right across the river in New Jersey. I think that one's really exciting. What do you think about this, dear?
I'm excited for it. I love an interactive show.
Mm-hmm.
I think my earliest experience with that was right after college when my friend Michelle and I went to see Tony and Tina's wedding.
Oh, yes.
That one was super fun because you literally like moved locations.
Right.
You saw the wedding happen, and then you literally all just walked down the street to a banquet hall where you got to sit at tables with the characters. I love that kind of stuff. It was very stupid and fun.
Probably some of my earliest experiences goes earlier than that. I mean, it's not really necessarily interactive, but immersive. Yeah. And that would be my favorite, Medieval Times.
Oh my God. Yeah. I hadn't even thought about that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're cheering each section of the restaurant, theater, whatever you want to call it. You've got your own knight that you're rooting for, who's competing in all these challenges. So it's, again, another really immersive experience. And we've got some weirdly, I don't know if it's just a New Jersey thing, but we've got all these little, I want to call them amusement parks. We've got the Land of Make Believe,
Fairy Tale Forest.
Another one of my favorites, Wild West City.
Oh my gosh, Wild West City was so much fun.
Do you remember the train robbery?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I am all for the immersive kind of thing. And that's why I think I love the Ren Fair so much. I love going up to the Ren Fair and just getting kind of, again, I keep saying the word immersed in that kind of era of time. And it's just so much fun.
Immersed in immersion.
Yeah. I'm immersing myself in immersion. Yes. But it's just so much fun. And I think that's what's cool about this, is that this is a way to really get deep into D&D, where you don't have to play, but you're still involved in the action that is happening. So that's really cool. I'm really excited for that. It literally just started previews yesterday. So it's just kicked off in New York City. So if you're in the area, or you're going to make a trip to this area, that would be a perfect thing to check out.
Absolutely. I am hoping my injured leg will heal very quickly so that we can get back in.
Yes, your poor injured leg.
Catherine's week started with a strained muscle in my leg that has me hobbling around on a crutch, and ended today with scratched cornea from our friend Jordy upstairs, who decided he wanted to smack me in the eye.
Oh, Jordy.
Yeah.
He just gets a little over enthusiastic.
It wasn't enthusiasm. He wanted to get down. I said no. I picked him up to move him, and he decided one way down was to smack me in the eye.
Well, okay then. He's just an angry little elf.
He is an angry little elf.
Oh, poor guy. I mean, I understand how much it hurt. Believe me, but I don't think he intended anything by it.
He intended murder. I could see murder in his heart when he did it.
Murder in his heart.
Murder in his furry little heart.
Oh, Jordy.
Murder in his heart.
Poor Jordy.
Right before you came upstairs after he hit me, he pulled out a little knife. He put it away when you got upstairs.
Was he going to shiv you?
He was.
Wow.
Actually, I believe he shanks, right? You shank with a shiv?
You shank with a shiv. Is that what it is?
I think so.
I have to look up the proper grammar on that.
I haven't been to prison in a while, so I'm not 100% sure, but...
Thank God, because those dementors.
The worst thing about prison was dementors.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what we ate? Gruel. Gruel sandwiches.
Gruel. All the time. But anyway, so what's your... So what do you like about... Because this is kind of really your first D&D adventure. So what are you looking forward to at the 20-sided tavern?
Someone else looking foolish?
Someone else looking foolish?
Yeah.
Do you think you look foolish?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't think that's foolish. I think that's fun.
I think it's silly.
Well, okay, maybe.
I enjoy doing it.
Exactly.
but,
You enjoy doing it, but
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
I don't know.
It's just a matter of enjoying what you do.
I guess so.
Yeah. All right. So yes, 20-sided tavern. It is. I want to see where I'm going to look it up for you while we're here. It is at stage 42. What is it? 422 West 42nd. Good to know.
I had a feeling it was going to be on 42nd Street when it was called Stage 42.
Right?
Would be very funny if it was Stage 42 and it was on like 85th Street.
Right? Brooklyn. Like that.
Staten Island.
Staten Island. Ooh.
Stage 42 here in beautiful Staten Island. You could take a free ferry ride to get here.
That's right. So definitely check it out. It looks like, do they have a Discord server?
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Hello. Apparently the 20-sided tavern has a Discord server as well. That's fantastic. There's only 1,132 members at the moment. That's fantastic. I'm going to have to check that out.
Excellent.
Cool.
All right.
All right. On to our next fantastic topic. What else are we going to talk about now? We've talked about several crowdfunded campaigns for different things. We talked about the what was it called?
Gummy Quest?
Gummy Quest. I knew it was Gummy something. Gummy Quest. We've talked about that one. I'm a big fan of Dice Dungeons, who is a dice vendor. They just started a Kickstarter campaign for microfiber battle mats, which is really cool. Which we could talk about that as well later.
Yeah, I'm curious.
But those are super cool. They just started. They got funded like within the first day for that project. But Dice Dungeons has made some of my favorite sets of dice. My copper dice, my cubic zirconia dice, the sea glass dice, which I think are just absolutely beautiful. They've done some really nice sets. They just most recently wrapped up the one for the speakeasy dice is what they're calling them. So a bunch of different sets of dice themed on different cocktails. So that is one that is, I think those are coming out sometime this fall. They're shipping those, but this is their newest one are the microfiber battle maps. So we can talk about that as well, maybe right after this. But this one is an article from Polygon. It says one author thinks your D&D party should get out more and socialize in character. And they have created a book called You Don't Meet in a Tavern, which is a great source of beginning ideas for how parties kind of get together. And it sounds absolutely fascinating. There's like well over, I want to say it's close to 100, I think, different scenarios that you can play with. Because she was talking about getting up to like 50 prompts and realizing that she's got to make a book out of this. But it's called You Don't Meet in a Tavern. One of the ones that sounded really cool to me that they mentioned in the article is basically you're on a long sailing voyage and the ship runs aground and crashes, and the party basically ends up on the sandy beach, the rocky sandy beach of some place, and they've got to kind of pick up their belongings and kind of assemble. And that's one way to join the party. The other one is where is it in here? I'm trying to look for it in the article. It's like a paint and sip event.
Yeah, they called it Sculpt and Sip.
Sculpt and Sip, thank you. Which is was it a gnome? Is that who was running the Sculpt and Sip?
I don't remember.
Let's take a look.
Yes, a gnome-led Sculpt and Sip.
A gnome-led Sculpt and Sip.
The one I liked was when they talked about...
yes.
She says, what if you started because a thief robbed everyone and you're all chasing him together through a marketplace? Like, it makes the bonding piece of it seem much more realistic, much more natural than like, oh, hey, we're all in a tavern.
We're all in a tavern and here we are again. Well, because I was thinking about this for the group of, because I'm looking at the keys from the Golden Vault,
Mm-hmm.
and I was trying to think of how to assemble that group. And one of the things, because they're all kind of, they're heists. So I was thinking of maybe they're all independent operators on the first heist after the same item, and they realize that it's better to team up. They have a better chance of being successful if they team up.
Team up?
A team up, yes. I know you love a team up. So it'd be better if they teamed up and try to take the item that they were looking for instead of trying to do it all solo.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the thoughts that I had, but I think they were going to go in a different route. But I'm a big fan of all sorts of D&D creators like this. It is on, what is the Game Found? I think there's only, like, as of today, I think there's only 2 days left to fund it.
It's fully funded.
It is fully funded.
It's 125% funded as of right now.
But you can still become a backer of the campaign, I guess, when this goes live on Monday. Monday might be the last day of it. If there's 2 days left, or they include today.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe you can still fund it. If not, you could probably look for it after it's published.
Probably look for it after it's published. They said October of 2024, the digital versions will be released. So you can get it in digital format. There is the main book, and then they've got like a series of special guests that are making like a supplemental to the supplemental called Guest Scenarios and Art. So there's a secondary book to it. It was like $15 to back it to get the digital versions. The print versions are coming out, I think they said February of 2025.
Okay.
If I recall correctly. So not that much further after, but it's just going to take them some time to actually print the material. So digital versions fall of this year. So I'm really excited. I decided to back it. I'm always looking for new ideas for ways to kind of mix things up, other than the standard you meet in a tavern. So I thought this was a great resource, and I'm always up for supporting independent creators of content. They really make, the D&D community what it is. So thank you to anyone out there who has created content for D&D, because it's just awesome. I love, we've interviewed some really great people on the podcast before that make content. I'm thinking of H, who makes all the NPC content on Patreon.
Yep.
That's a really cool one. They do some amazing stuff there. All sorts of people. Tall Tavern is another one. Really cool stuff. Pocket Bard, what we use for the sound effects for the actual play. There's just so many tremendous creators out there, and just that's just a few of the ones that I've interacted with, but there's a ton out there. Now, do you want to talk about Dice Dungeons?
Yeah.
Okay, let me bring it up. I want to say Dice Dungeons. Battlecloth is what they call it. Battlecloth. So let's see. I'm going to try to read where's the description here? Enhance your adventures with Battlecloth maps. Our exclusive line of cloth microfiber battle maps is ideal for encounters in any RPG. These high-quality, full-color battle maps make a fantastic setting for different scenes during your game. They make planning easier for DMs and the experience more immersive for players. So the maps themselves are printed on soft, high-quality fabric. So you can, there's no wrinkling or anything like that, creases or anything. Nice, smooth surfaces. So for all of your minis and terrain and everything like that, fit really nicely on these. Each one of the battle map areas is 21.5 by 21.5 inches. It's already got the grid on it, for tracking movement and things like that. So it's really nicely built. They've got open fields, caves, oceans, and you can tile those if you want to. They've got all sorts of aquatic ones, a beach, harbor, an actual sailing ship, a sunken ship. Then they've got all the actual land. So, and these all kind of tie in together. So there's forest, cliffside path, ruined temple, and you can line all these up together. The roadside camp, twin bridges, cliffside cave, so many more. They've got other ones, a tavern, a castle floor that gets unlocked at 15,000. And I think what do they add at the moment? They're already at 18,471. So they've already broken those stretch goals. I think the next one is the Snowcap Summit, which unlocks at 20,000.
Did you say you already backed this?
I have not backed this one yet.
Oh.
But I've backed other dice. I backed the Speakeasy dice.
Right.
I backed, when they did the Sea Glass dice, I backed that Kickstarter campaign, but I have not backed this campaign yet.
Pretty reasonably priced.
Let's talk about that. So 2 Battlecloth maps, 23.
1 for 12.
3 for 33. I want the whole set though. That's the problem.
So if you go to the whole set, 18 Battlecloth maps.
Yes.
$180.
Yes. An estimated delivery is April of 2025. So spring of 2025. We're about a year out from there. Oh, interesting. So 2 items are included. There is the Battlecloth maps themselves and a digital map pack, which is very interesting. So you can go both ways, which would be pretty cool because I like doing stuff. I like doing stuff digitally as well. I mean, we play here in person, so we have kind of a map laid out for certain areas, but something like this would be great just to have, so you can lay something down and put your minis on it and everything, build out some terrain. I need to start getting like some terrain and other things to really flesh out these maps. Yes. Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No.
No?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
All right.
But like I'm glad and they also, I was trying to think because I was going to say I'm glad they're not making more dice because I just have to buy more dice. But I also like their quest decks. I'm a big fan of their quest decks.
Yeah.
From Dice Dungeons, those are really cool. So if you're looking for side quests and things to give to your party, that's a great way to come up with some things kind of randomly. You can use them as job boards. So if there's a job board in town, you can throw up some side quests that way if you want to kind of extend the game that way. Just depending on what you want to do. Sometimes you can't get the whole party together, so maybe we got a couple people. So instead of doing the main storyline and leaving somebody out, maybe you do a side quest, one night when the whole party can't be together. So there's a lot of great things you can do with the side quest decks as well. Just makes a DM's job that much easier. But yeah, I'm really digging these Battlecloth maps.
Yeah, they look awesome. I've never seen them before. I don't think we've talked about them, have we?
No, we haven't.
Yeah, they're really cool looking. I like the ones that you can actually like put together to create one larger map.
Yes.
Those are fun.
Yeah, so for example, like there's Stalwart Forest. Trying to say that.
Stalwart Forest. Stalwart Forest.
Thank you.
Stalwart Forest.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. See,
Unique New York.
Yes.
Unique New York.
There's the cliffside path and the ruined temple.
Yeah.
So those are 3 individual 21.5 by 21.5 maps, but you can actually line them up side by side for one big long, I guess about 65 by 21.5 long map. So you can really span these things out. And I think that one even bumps into the ones below it, which are Roadside Camp, Twin Bridges, and Cliffside Cave. So you can really extend this thing pretty far, which is really cool. So that's a pretty exciting thing. I really dig these. They did a nice job designing them. Whoever designed them at Dice Dungeons, really great job. Maybe I will have to back it.
I just love that Dice Dungeons is out of Baltimore, which has a place in my heart.
Baltimore,
Maryland.
Yep. Indeed. And they got other things. Oh yeah, they've got terrain overlays.
Oh boy.
There's so many cool things. Oh my goodness. A travel tube? They got a travel tube for this? Of course they do. Oh my God. So exciting.
Yes.
Oh, and there's the team. So they got Dice Dungeons is what happens when the creative force of Jarrett came into contact with John's design and product savvy. A professionally trained designer, Jarrett started his path designing, crafting, and selling garb for cosplayers, LARPers, and Ren fairs. John has a PhD in biochemistry and a passion for analyzing problems and designing elegant solutions that help others. There you have it. So check out Dice Dungeons you can go to dicedungeons.com. You can go to Kickstarter, look up Dice Dungeons. You can see their latest campaign. This one has 25 days to go, so there's still some time to back this one if you're looking for kind of some battle maps and things like that. Really nice quality. Definitely check them out. What is next on our list of topics to discuss?
Quests from the Infinite Staircase.
Ooh. So another book that they are putting out for Dungeons and Dragons. It's another anthology of a lot of older adventures. So this one is called Quests from the Infinite Staircase. So if you're familiar with these anthologies, there's Journey Through the Radiant Citadel, Candlekeep Mysteries, which I think we played a few of those when Joe was DMing. I think he used some of the Candlekeep Mysteries.
Cool.
I'm looking to do Keys to the Golden Vault with Fable and their group of friends.
Oh, neat.
So that's the one that I'm using there. So this is a new anthology coming out later this year in 2024, Quests from the Infinite Staircase, which was announced at PAX Unplugged back in December. So they say the book will be similar to Tales from the Yawning Portal in that it features 6 updated versions of classic D&D adventures from past editions. They say the book will officially be released on July 16th, 2024, and is available for pre-order. You can do the digital or the physical versions of that. Now, big question. What is Quests from the Infinite Staircase about? So, like I said, it's an anthology. It's 6 classic D&D adventures. They're updated for 5th edition. Designed for characters from levels 1 to 13. Again, you can do them separately or as part of an overall campaign. Some of the ones in here there's an adventure called The Lost City, which was originally published in 82 as module B4. And this adventure is designed for 1st to 3rd level characters. This one is focused for new dungeon masters, with players exploring the upper floors of an ancient ziggurat located in the depths of a mysterious desert. Mysterious.
Yep. Okay, Michael Scott.
Yes. What are your opinions on that, dear? Any?
On the Lost City?
On the Lost City.
It sounds interesting.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, the one that I thought sounded most interesting is Beyond the Crystal Cave.
Ooh.
Which
Well, let's talk about it. What is it about?
Inspired by Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. It's designed for 6th level characters, and you have to venture into the forbidden Cave of Echoes to find 2 star-crossed lovers.
Ooh. Beyond the Crystal Cave. That sounds interesting.
Just sounded fun. There's a couple of modules that clearly were intended for the UK. That's one of them.
Right.
Since that was originally module UK1.
Yes.
The other one, are there more than... I think just the other one that was meant for the UK was When a Star Falls.
Yes.
That's designed for 4th to 5th level characters, and players must recover a fallen star before rival factions are able to get their hands on it, while also dealing with an ancient tower and a dark prophecy.
Ooh.
Yes.
The one that sounds really interesting to me that I would love to run is Expedition to the Barrier Peaks.
Ooh, a Gary Gygax one.
This is an adventure written by the legendary, the one and only, the wickedly
Adele Dazeem? The wickedly talented
exactly Adele Dazeem.
Gary Gygax.
This article refers to it as one of the most iconic old school D&D adventures of all time. Designed for level 11 to 13 characters, it combines classic fantasy elements with some out-of-the-world science fiction technology. Ooh. What is that? It also marks the first appearance of the Froggamoth.
What's a Froggamoth?
I'm clicking on the link to figure this out.
It's like a froghemoth, like a behemoth.
Exactly,
A froghemoth.
I like the picture on D&D Beyond. Interesting. It's a huge monstrosity. It is an amphibious predator as big as an elephant. Its layers in swamps and has 4 tentacles, a thick rubbery hide.
What is going on with that tongue?
A fang-filled maw with a prehensile tongue.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like his feet.
Yes, and an extendable stalk sporting 3 bulbous eyes that face in different directions.
I mean, what could the eyes be? Non-bulbous? Come on.
I think they have to be bulbous.
He's clearly got a thyroid issue.
Maybe that's his issue. Maybe he just needs he needs thyroid medication.
Yeah, he goes on thyroid medication. He's a totally normal guy,
right? Who knows?
He's just a frog.
That's all he is. He's just a frog with the thyroid problem.
Exactly.
Oh, poor guy. So misunderstood. So is it? Hang on. I got to figure out how this is actually pronounced. Thanks to D&D Beyond for pronunciation here.
Froghemoth.
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 Behemoth. Frog. Froghemoth. Mm-hmm. There we go.
Yep.
Excellent. I love D&D Beyond that has the pronunciation. Well, this is why Joe and I were constantly battling, because I called it, rightfully so, a tabaxi.
Right.
And Joe wanted to call it a tabahi. And I'm like, no. Don't ask me why.
Does Joe have a mysterious, Hispanic heritage that we don't know about?
Maybe.
Huh.
Perhaps. But no, it's tabaxi. So, anyway. So that is some of what is going on in the wonderful world of D&D.
Oh, wait, can we talk about...
what else do you want to talk about?
Well, in Quest from the Infinite Staircase...
Yes.
We're
not done yet.
No, we're not.
Okay.
Because there was one really cool part that I have to find.
Yes.
About a new character.
Yes.
I'm looking.
I'm waiting.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Quest from the Infinite Staircase also introduces a new, powerful cosmic character, the noble genie Naphas, who hears wishes made throughout the multiverse and recruits heroes to fulfill them. Notably, he's featured on the concept art Wizards of the Coast Unveiled at PAX Unplugged. This new character has never appeared before in the D&D canon and will provide the thematic link between the book's adventures. I just thought that was really cool.
Interesting.
It has over 30 new monsters and NPCs, all of which will be given new stat blocks that are fully compatible with 5e. I mean, it just sounds really like there's a lot of old material, obviously, because it's an anthology, but there's also a bunch of new stuff in there, which I think is really cool.
That is really cool. Dee Dee, are you coming to say hello?
Hello, Dee Dee. Dee Dee, she's such a peanut.
Dee Dee has joined the podcast.
Hello. Here she comes. She's going to knock over the screen. She's going to walk across the laptop.
I don't know what she's doing.
Hold on, please. Are you coming for me?
Dee Dee.
Come see Mama. I got you.
There we go.
I got you. Yeah. Come sit.
Dee Dee is our blind cat daredevil. She is the cat without fear.
There's my girl. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, that's why I thought it was really cool.
That is really cool. Because, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be, that's a good way to tie everything together. These seemingly unrelated adventures.
Right. You've got the genie who can be granting wishes in between, and they all end up in these different adventures.
Right. Very cool.
She's just rubbing on my headphones.
Aww.
Hi.
She is very happy to see you.
Yeah.
Excellent. So that is some of what is going on in the world of D&D. So 20-sided tavern playing at Stage 42. Thank you, in New York City. I keep wanting to say Studio 54, but
that's different.
That is very different. So Stage 42 in New York City, 20-sided tavern. We've got the campaign, the crowdfunding campaigns for You Don't Meet in a Tavern, which basically by the time this podcast goes live will be completed. It's already funded, but their fundraising window is closing very shortly. But you can still get behind Dice Dungeons and their Battlecloth maps if you're looking for some really nice, high-quality maps. That one is coming out. And what else, dear? The new book that's coming out, Quests from the Infinite Staircase. That's going to be very exciting. All right. Well, thank you again, everybody, for joining us today on today's adventure. We had our special guest, our niece, Jocelyn, our musical composer for all the music of Legends, Loot, and Lore. So that was wonderful.
AKA June Westfield.
AKA June Westfield.
On YouTube, Spotify, and all the socials.
Yes, absolutely. And what else? We had just some lovely news for D&D, some great things going on out there. So again, thank you all for listening. Remember, please, you can help support this fun podcast of ours at legendslootandlore.supercast.com, and check us out on the socials. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads.
Yep.
Not Twitter.
I think you mean X.
No, I don't.
Don't buy a Cybertruck.
Oh my goodness.
Stuck and floored.
Oh my God. It's like the gas pedal gets stuck.
Yeah.
And did you see the fingers? Like,
oh, yeah.
The fingers getting crushed. Oh my God.
Yeah. I watched the guy put all sorts of vegetables in it and they just kept getting hacked.
Oh, yeah. Yikes.
Yeah, it was
Cybertruck is frightening. But anyway, again, thank you once again, everybody. We look forward to talking to you next week. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Legends, Loot, and Lore. We hope you've enjoyed immersing yourself in the realms of Legends, uncovering hidden loot, and delving into captivating lore. But the journey doesn't end here. For exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, and access to our community, visit legendslootandlore.supercast.com. There you'll be able to support the podcast, where you can join our Discord server for lively discussions and subscriber-only content, and connect with fellow enthusiasts. Stay connected with us on Instagram and Facebook at Legends, Loot, and Lore to continue on the quest. By following our social media channels, you'll be the first to know about upcoming episodes, bonus content, and exciting announcements. If you've enjoyed your time with us, we kindly ask you to rate and subscribe to this podcast. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue producing captivating episodes and embarking on new quests. Thank you for being a part of our journey. We're thrilled to have you by our side as we unravel the legends, uncover the loot, and delve deeper into the lore. Until next time.